Hi all. Today we will see some fundamentals of Python starting with data types. So what is a data type? Data type indicates the type of data. So whenever you are storing something in computer, you should be it will be storing it in some specific way. It should be having some type attached to which based on which it will be storing that data. So that is what is a data type all about. So in Python, these are some of the very basic data types that is available. str, okay, or str means string. Okay, it refers to all the text based data. Text based data means anything that is enclosed within single quotes or double quotes. It is considered as a text based data. Int or int, it refers to a numerical data, so any digits, any numbers, so it forms the integers. Float, any decimals forms is referred to as a float data. Complex number, so you would have learned about complex number like a plus ib and all. So such kinds of numbers, when we have to store that, the data type of that is complex. And bool or boolean, so Boolean refers to true or false, either yes or no. So such kinds of if we want to store something in the form of true or false, then we have the Boolean data type. So as I told, numbers. So any number you take, say this is a number. So 5645. So this is an integer data or int. Okay, let us just see the type of this 5645. Type of it, see, int. So type is a function which tells us what is the data type. For Python, we need not specify beforehand what is the data type of an element. Okay, it automatically assumes the data type. It has that kind of capability. So we just said 5645 and it is able to identify that it is an int. So type is a function which tells us what is the type of data, or data, how the Python has considered that data. So here I am having a decimal and I am checking its type. So it has come as float. So the Python has automatically identified it as float. Now here there is a text data ABC. Okay. So I'll just see what's the type. It is assumed as str. So anything, whatever I enclosed within double quotes or single quotes. It need not be double quotes. It can be single quotes also. So I give like I love Python. Okay, let us just see what's the type it is giving here. See, type is string. Now, suppose there is something. There is something like, see, one type of 123. What will be the type? The type is integer. Suppose you are enclosing it within double quotes. Now let us see what's the type. See, string. So since it is 123, you must be automatically assuming that it is an integer. But since it is enclosed within double quotes, it has considered it as a string. So that is how the string is considered. Anything enclosed within double quotes or single quotes is considered as a string. I'll add some punctuations also here, some numbers also here, some spaces also here. So whatever it is, ultimately it is considered as a string. So that is a text based data. Any data like true or false, as I told before, it is considered as Boolean, and we can check the type of false here. It has come out automatically as bool. Now, what is a variable? A variable is a placeholder to store data. In case of Python, okay, we'll be having, in case of any computer language, not only Python, we'll be having lot of data, but we need to store it somewhere and we should be able to access it. So variable is a placeholder or a name given to such stored uh, datas. So the so it is like a placeholder or a container where the data is stored. So how will you define a variable? A variable can be all alphabets. It can be something with some alphabets and some numbers. It can start with underscore, and it can be all alphabets as I told earlier. But only thing that it does in Python doesn't allow us is a variable cannot start with a number, or it cannot have any other special characters other than underscore. Okay, so let's see, variable without any value in it is of no use, right? So let's see variable assignment, how variable gets its value. So here you can see I have a equal to 2, which means that a assigned the value of 2. This operator equal to is known as the assignment operator. Okay, so now when I check A, see here I assigned A is equal to 2. Here now when I check A, I get the value as 2 and not A. So when you are printing or when you are accessing a variable, actually it returns the value that it contains. So that's why when I check the value of A, it returned me 2. Now let us check the type of A. So type of A, automatically it has taken it as int is because Python automatically assumes the type of the variables or the values that it is storing. Now name, I have created another variable over here, name, and I have assigned Python to it. And since it is enclosed within double quotes, it should be a string. We'll just see. Name, it has returned me Python, and type is string. Anything enclosed within double quotes or single quotes is considered as a string. You can use double quotes or single quotes. Now here we were assigning only one variable, only a single variable with some value. We can do multiple variable assignments also. That is, here if you see a b c equal to, I have given some values. So three variables I have given some values. So automatically the value of a, what will be the value of a? Value of a is 1, value of b is hello, and value of c is 3.14. It automatically assigns it as per the order. Now what will be the type of c? Type of c will be float because it's a decimal number. Not just assume that user will be knowing, means we can assign the values in the code itself, right? We have to get some values from the user also. For that we'll be using the function input. If you see here, there is a function input. I am giving the message enter a number. Okay, so whatever number I am entering will be assigned to variable. This is a simple variable assignment only. I am getting the value over here and I am assigning it to the variable a. So let me just run this. I'm entering the value 234. So it automatically gets assigned to a. Let us see. A. See, 234. It has printed 234. Now, what will be the type of a? What will be the type of A? Is it integer or string? See, it is string. But you would have assumed that it will be an integer, right? We have entered an integer 234, but how it became a string? It is because whatever thing that we are entering using the function input, it treats it as an integer. So it returns a, treats it as a string. It returns a string only. So that is why 234 is a string. So what we can do is we can just convert it to integer using the function int. So once we convert it into integer, it becomes an integer. See, here it was a string, a was a string 234, and once we converted it using the function integer, it returned an integer. It returned an integer 234. Okay, so instead of doing this double conversion, getting the value and then converting it later, since we already know that input always returns you a string, we can convert it then and there itself like this. Okay, now if we check the value, okay, let me enter 567. Now if we check the value of a, it is int. The type of a is int. Okay, so now it won't be always possible कि you just enter the value. That we'll have to print some value on the screen, right? We'll have to give some output, output from the computer. For that we use the function print. Okay, so if you just want to print a message, the message will always be a string. You will be enclosing it with double quotes or single quotes. If you print like this, you get I love Python. So I had given the message I love Python over here. So when you print it, it will print I love Python. Now let us print this a variable a is there over here, right? A, I entered the value 567. Okay, so if I want to print the value of a on screen, so we can just do print of a. So it is only variable. When you want to print only variable, you have to just give the variable name over here. If you want to print a message, you have to give the message over here. But suppose instead of giving a like this, if you print it like this, you are getting A only, because here A is enclosed within a double quotes, so it is considered as a message and it prints as it is. So if you want to print a variable, you make sure that it is given as a variable itself without any double quotes, so that it will be treated as a variable. Otherwise it will be treated as a message. Now it won't be always possible that you print a message alone or a variable alone. You will have to print some variable along with some message also. In that case, you can use these methods. There are millions of methods available over there through which we can print a message and a variable, but this is one of the easiest way, and we'll be following this approach throughout our tutorial. So here what we are doing is we are making a f string over here, f string in Python. F string starts with f followed by double quotes or single quotes, whatever message we want to be there. Okay, and the variable, wherever you want to have the variable, that is, if you just give a over here, what will happen? Let's see. If I'm just giving a over here, the number is a. It has treated a as a part of the message and it has printed. It didn't understand that it is a variable. So in order to avoid that, what you have to do is you have to enclose this within curly braces. So in this case, the Python will understand that this is a variable and it will treat it as a variable. So whatever comes within the braces, it will be considered as a variable, and while printing the message, this variable will be replaced with the value. Let us see. See, the number is 567. So it printed the value of the variable over here. So when you to print a message along with a variable, you have to use f strings. You have to start with f. If the f is not there, again it is going to give you a problem. See, it gave this, it treated this as a part of the string itself, so it gave the number is a. Okay, so unless and until you give f over here, then only it will understand that you are wanting it to print a variable, the value of variable, and it will print. Now if you want to print multiple variables, you just, it is the same thing, you just have to make the make the placeholder the way you want it. So I have assigned the name as Liji and age as 100, and I'm just printing my name is so and so and my age is so and so. Let me just print this. I got the variables are replaced with the values that I assigned it over here. Now coming to comments, here I had added some things, right? But it is not a part of the print statement. See, I had put a hash over here, I had given something. So this is just to enhance, means if you want to make a third party understand what is a code is all about, you can add comments over there. So whatever you add after the hash thing, it won't be executed. Okay, so it will just treat as a documentation for a third party who wants to understand the things, and that is what is a comment is used for. Now, it won't be always possible that you give single line comment, single line strings, right? As I told before, strings can be either enclosed within double quotes or single quotes. Let me just give double quotes over here. Okay, double quotes. I have enclosed, this is all test. I want to treat it as a string. Okay, double quotes I give, but it's giving me error because it is spanning to multiple lines. So if you want to have a multi-line comment, if you want to have a multi-line string, then you have to use three triple quotes starting with 3 and ending with 3. Then it will be considered as a multi-line string. Okay, let me just assign it to a variable. Yes, and I will just print it. So I got the whatever contents it was there. Okay, here the same way you can see there was a there, here it is going to the next line. So next line is indicated, going to a new line can be indicated using /n. So /n means that it is going to a new line. Okay, so that is another special character that we have in Python. So today we have covered data types, variables and its assignments, input output comments, and multi-line strings, and in the next tutorial we'll be covering operators in Python. Stay tuned. Thank you all. Bye.